INAudio presents The Tycoon's Forced Bride by Jane Porter, narrated by Shannon Mcmanus. Dedication. For my amazing, loyal readers who know and embrace that I don't always write nice, normal romances featuring lovely, well-adjusted characters who meet while shopping for organic produce. This one, dear readers, is for you. Chapter 1. He knew Ava's daily routine down to the minute. It wasn't a difficult routine to learn. She never varied her routine. It was the same Monday through Friday. A car picked her up promptly at 8:10 for work. She was at her desk at the ballet school by 8:30. She taught 2 classes before she had lunch at her desk, and then 2 more in the afternoon, in between meetings with the school and company. The same town car that dropped her off in the morning returned at 6 to collect her. Back home, she rarely went out in the evenings. She rarely ordered food for delivery. On weekends, she stayed in, except for the special evening where she attended a performance. And, then again, she traveled in the town car, arriving a full hour and a half before the performance to give her time to get into the theater before the crowds arrived, and then returning a full hour after, when the crowds had dispersed. It wasn't just because she moved slowly, but she preferred obscurity. She didn't want anyone to see her or recognize her. Not when she'd once been Manhattan Ballet's principal ballerina, loved and adored for her grace, talent, and beauty. Ava's life consisted of work and the ballet, just as it had always been work and the ballet, although before she'd been on the stage, not in the back row of seats in the auditorium. He knew her routine because he had her followed. The security detail was discreet, and she never even knew they were there, just as she didn't know the town car was his, and the driver his too. She didn't know the Manhattan Ballet had initially given her the first part-time teaching job because he'd insisted the company arrange something for her, or he'd pull his support. The company listened. He was their largest benefactor after all. She didn't know he'd been in the background, opening doors, smoothing the way for her return, and he didn't want her to know. It was enough that she was working, and that she'd been promoted several times from a part-time assistant teacher for the children in the dance school to working with the older students and the professional dancers in the corps. Malcom McKenzie didn't mind the money. It wasn't that much, considering. Not when one...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?